Hey everybody, welcome to another deck profile video. I'm DBS TCG Central. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw that today we're doing Ginyu, new leader of the Force. Let's get the focus. All right, so this is a green leader, really fun leader. It takes advantage of a lot of free plays, and we run a lot of green good stuff in it. Let me show you what he does. So on his unawakened side, he's Ginyu. When this card attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a green Ginyu Force with energy cost of 2, you may play it and then draw one card. So this is a really good effect. You get free plays off of it, and you also get to draw a card. Also, it has an alternate awaken here, where when your life is at 4 or less, or if you have 4 or more Ginyu Force cards in play, in your battle area, you may draw 2 cards and then flip this card over. So it's an alternate awaken. If you have 4 Ginyu Force, you can awaken early, which is typically what we do here. When this card attacks, reveal the top card of your deck. So same effect as on the other side. If it's a green Ginyu Force with energy cost 2, you may play it and then draw a card. And then active battle, once per turn, you can choose 1 green Ginyu Force in your battle area, and it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. So that's really good. You can power up your attacks on this side to get a little more threats, a lot more threadage in. So I'll show you exactly how this deck works and what we run. It's really a fun deck. So the card that actually made this really possible to be competitive at all was actually this expansion card that came out. Ginyu Force, the Showstoppers. So it's got a permanent here. This card gains Raccoon, Jace, Birder, and Gildo in all areas. Auto once per turn if your leader is green Ginyu Force, which it is, and you have 2 or more energy when this card attacks. When this card's attack deals damage to your opponent or removes a marker from a Unison card. You can play up to 1 Ginyu Force card with energy cost 2 from your deck, and then other than copies of this card. So you play this. You can play it for free with your leader ability if you reveal it from the top of your deck. And then when you play one of these, it counts as all of them, which will matter. I'll show you why later on. And also, if you attack their leader and you take a life, or if you attack one of their unisons and take a marker, you get to play any of the other Ginyu Force that we play out of the deck. So the next one we play is a wicked important card in the deck also. It's Raccoon, the Musclehead. So it's got unique. We do run 4 because we have ways to get rid of it to play more. I'll show you exactly what we do. But if your leader card is a Ginyu Force, when this card is played, you can choose up to 1 Ginyu Force with energy cost 2 in your hand and play it. So say you attack with this. You play it for free. You'll attack with this. You'll take a damage since it's a 15k, maybe turn 1. And then you can get this out of your deck and you can play it. And then when you play this card, you can choose another one in your hand and then play it. So it's a lot of free play really, really quick. So one of the ones that we play is this one here is Birder, fastest in the universe. So this card here has unique and it has blocker. At the end of the turn, switch this card to active mode, and then look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them on the top. What's that? Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them on the top of your deck or the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is what I was saying about helping with some siphoning and stuff like that and filtering. We have a lot of cards that aren't Ginyu Force in here, and we want to take advantage of this ability from the leader as much as possible. So playing this card can set you up to put the Ginyu Force that you need on the top of your deck for this ability to pop up next turn. So it takes a little bit of calculating, but once you learn how to play the deck and you know what to put on the top when you're going to have this happen the next turn, it is crazy because every turn you're going to pop off that ability and you're going to just be spamming Ginyu Force. One of the next ones we play here is Jace, second in command. So also has unique. When this card attacks, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can add up to 1 Ginyu Force card among them to your hand, then place the remaining cards on the top or the bottom of your deck in any order. Like I said, you're setting yourself up. All these cards inherently just kind of help you out with the leader so that effect will pop off every turn. So Another really good. Now, if you notice, these are all 15k attackers, so it's really, really strong. Like turn one, you're playing a 15k, and then playing another one, and then possibly a third one. You can swing in with all of these, and you're putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. So it's a really, really cool deck. So an older card we play from an older expansion is Ginyu Helix Strike. So what this card does here is it's double strike. If you ever do play it, you'll never end up playing it, but you use it for its active main here. For 1 energy, you can place this card in your drop area from your hand. If your leader is a Ginyu card, look at the top 3 cards at the top of your deck and choose up to 1 Ginyu Force card among them and add them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, and if you added a card to your hand, you can choose up to 1 Ginyu Force card in your hand with energy cost 2 or less and play it. So you end up playing another Ginyu Force. You search for what you need for 1 energy. You discard this card, and then you can play another Ginyu Force for free. So just more advantage and spamming out more of these little Ginyu Force guys. So we'll put those here. Another Ginyu Force we play is Gildo Psycho Psychic. I believe that's what it says. So unique active main. If your leader card is a Ginyu Force card and you discard this card from your hand, you can look at the top 3 cards at the top of your deck and place them on the top of the bottom of your deck in any order. So again, if you need to discard this from your hand to like rearrange your cards that are in your deck so that you have a Ginyu Force on the top so that your effect goes off, this is perfect. Helps out with that immensely. So it's got another active main once per turn. You can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and place them in the top or the bottom of your deck in any order. So if he's played on the battlefield, you can also do that effect, but you do the top 5 instead of the top 3. So really strong. Also, another 15k. And then we run for these Ginyu. So active main, if you have at least 1 Raccoon, Jace, Birder, and Gildo card in play this card from your hand, and you can play copies of this card for the turn. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and gain control of it. If you gain control of it, if you gain control of a card, give control of the give your opponent this card, basically. So what's happening is you're playing this card. If you have a Jace, Birder, Raccoon, Gildo, all on the battlefield. Like I said, these ones over here, these ones count as all 4. It says it here. It's got a permanent, so it counts as all the other ones that you need in the deck. And then you can play this guy. So it really, really is easy to play with all the stuff that we spam out. And then you can take control of one of your opponent's battle cards. So it's really, really cool. Really good effect. I love this deck because of how different it is compared to a lot of other decks. And it being green definitely is cool too. So like we have a lot of unique, like I was saying. So unique means you really can't play another battle card if you have one that you can't play the same battle card that has unique in the battle area at the same time. So we run this card here, Lord Slug Youth Regained. So this is a successor card. So it's got energy exhaust, double strike. You never really end up playing it. You use it. Well, you do end up playing it, but you use the successor more than you would ever imagine in this deck because all these uniques, you can just successor, pop them, so you get rid of 3 of them, and then you can use this effect again. You can use the effect on this card again, and start playing them out and being like way more aggressive. Just one of these will mop up your board, so you can play more and just go in harder and faster. So what this card does here is successor for 1 green energy, which is awesome. You get rid of 3 battle cards because they're all 2-drops, so it has to equal up to 6. If this card would be removed from the battle area or it's sent to the warp instead. So if they try to kill this, it'll go to the warp. It's got bond 3. If your leader card is a green, when this card attacks, you can choose one. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's cards in their hand and they discard it, or you could choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So this is a 25 double strike that comes down for 1 energy. It mops up your uniques so you can play more, and then you'll build up your bond 3 again, and you'll be these effects will be active. So it's really a lot of aggression. It's really, really cool. It spams the board, starts attacking like crazy, and then you can start just going in hard. It's really, really good. Super combos. We run Defending Father Paragus. So I went with this one. I think I'm probably gonna switch it to the newer one that bottom decks a card and then you draw two. Just to keep the like all the Ginyu Force in the deck. I mean it comes into relevance sometimes, but for now I'm running this one and it's draw two cards and then you can discard one after you draw the two, which is a good effect for a super combo, just because you get all the cards in your hand and then you can figure out what you want to discard instead of discarding first and then drawing something that you might not want. So I run this for now just for consistency. I'm thinking about switching to the newer one that does almost the same, but it puts it at the bottom of the deck. So Paragus for that super combo, yeah, works good enough. But like I said, I might switch, but it's fine. It's really good in this deck. The draw two is huge. Unison, we run Demigra, Unison of Sorcery. So this one's really good. You don't want to spend too much energy. You get a lot of free plays, but if you want to use your energy to be really aggressive, so just a one drop Unison is really good to get all your stuff live. So what this one does is if they try to attack this Unison, you can actually take a life from your life, which you awaken early, so you'll be at high life. So it's really not that big of a deal if you want to protect it. It turns into a 15k attacker if you +1 it and you attack. And its -3 is you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. You can KO it. And then you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier 3 or less and KO it. So this is really good to get rid of some of their stuff because these guys are more or less just attackers and filterers for the deck. So to have some, removal is really important. I'll show you what else we run for it too. We have Floodgates, Dormant Potential Unleashed. Really good card. If you have a Unison out, it's free, but also it's 1 energy if you need to use it. If you discard a card, your opponent can't attack. You can only attack 1 more time for the turn after you play this. So really, really good, and it helps a lot just to get your opponent to not go at you so hard. Because we run the Unisons, we run 3 Freeze a Charismatic Villain counterplays. So if they play a battle card 7 or less, you can play this card for free, and it'll KO it after it comes into play. You can play it for free if you have a Unison out, so it's really, really strong. And, worst case scenario, you can combo it away for an extra 5k combo, or it's a 10k attacker if you need it. So really good. More Floodgates. I run 3 Majin Buu. This is the topo of the deck. So basically you play this card, you discard a card, and they cannot attack again unless they discard 2 cards per turn every time they attack. 2 cards every time they attack. So they're usually not going to want to drop 2 cards every time they attack. I mean, maybe if they want to go for game at the end, but you're really safe when you play this card. And plus, like a 10k attacker, like I said, comes onto the board afterwards. We're at high life, so we run 2 Homicidal Clones. If you're 5 or less life, you can use this card. You could take a life and play it for free. It'll negate the attack, and then it puts out a blocker. Really good. It can negate 2 attacks. I use it in a lot of my decks. It's really, really strong. For barrier removal, we have Chill the Assailant. So this is a TP card. If you guys don't know what this does, it's got deflect, so it's always coming down, and this effect's always taking place. But when this card is played, you could play up to 2 chilled tokens with 10k power. So you're kind of spamming the board a little bit more with 10ks that you can use for combos, or you can use for 10k attackers when it gets played. Or it's got another ability here is you could pay 2 green energy and you can discard this card from your hand. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy costs less than or equal to the number of cards in their hands, ignoring barrier, and you can KO it. So this card is really, really good for barrier removal if you're not a hand destruction green deck, because if they have enough more cards in their hand, the more cards in their hand, the bigger of a beast monster you can KO with this. So this isn't a really hand control oriented green deck. It's more of just like a rush green deck, and we don't really worry about the hand control. So this deck, this card flourishes in a deck like this. It's got another active main once per turn. You can choose up to 2 of your chilled army tokens, and they get plus 5,000 power for the turn. So if you play it, You put the 10K tokens out if you want to be a little more aggressive, and then you can just do the once per turn active main, and then they could become 15K attackers. So it's a really good card. It's pivotable where you could use it defensively or aggressively if you need to, because you do have a lot of open energy sometimes because everything costs so cheap and everything is free in the deck. So it is really cool. Like I said, this has got a lot of free plays in this deck. And then for our secret rare, I run the Great Ape Mass Saiyan Primal Carnage. If I need to, I can drop it on turn 5, and it's a triple strike dual attack, so it's really good. But I use it for the combo ability. When they attack, I'll combo, and I'll kill something that they have with barrier. Doesn't matter what size or anything. You just got to pay 1 energy for the combo, and it is good. It's strong. It surprises your enemy, and they usually don't know what to do. And plus, when you drop in the Ginyus, these guys here, you're taking their battle cards too. The only things you're not taking is like stuff with barrier. So you're going to have to defend against that kind of stuff. So that's why I run the Childs, but also I run this guy because you kill the barrier stuff and then you take the other stuff without the barrier. And then you just kind of boom, boom, go in hard. It is a fun deck. Let me tell you, there is a bunch of ways to build it. I chose this way. It's really aggressive. This guy here helps the deck out so much. You can just go in. Some turns you're attacking with like 8, 9 Ginyu Force plus this guy's a double strike. It's crazy. It gets insane with the leader attack and the Unison. It can just start destroying your opponent. They'll get overwhelmed really quick with all the free plays. Like I said, the combo with this, you play it for free, or even this one here. So you could, yeah. So what you do, you'd play this for free, play this from your hand. And then, oh no, I'm sorry. You play this for free, go to your deck, get this guy, play that, and then play this from your hand or whatever. Anybody, this guy or anything. That's 3 15K attackers, like turn 1, your turn 1 or their turn 1. And then you can start going in hard. You know what I mean? And then next turn, or even that turn, because that's all free plays. You play your Unison turn 1, and then all your counter plays are live and everything. You have plenty of Floodgates. So if you need to play mid-range or control-y, you also can. Like I said, you have the barrier removal. It's a very well-rounded deck, and it can compete. So a good option for green right now, especially with everything being a little wonky and the new band that came out. But it is definitely fun as heck. And it definitely is one of the decks that can compete right now because Rush, for the most part, kind of got killed. But this kind of revitalizes it because it can compete without having super hyper aggro decks going on. But Ginyu, new leader of the Force, really, really good leader, really, really fun deck. I love it. Like when I take it to locals, people are shocked about what this thing can do. So I suggest you guys try it out and tell me what you think. Leave a comment below. I'm DBSTCG Central. Thanks for coming to another deck profile video. I have an eBay store, a Facebook, and an Instagram. I'll leave links to everything below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll come out with a new one soon. I think tomorrow I'll be doing another deck profile. So I appreciate you guys joining me for this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.